It's Friday morning, I've got my coffee. Let's talk about beard care. So today we're going to be talking about whether you should be applying products to a damp stroke wet beard or a dry beard. Now firstly guys, with all of my videos you will know this by now. I just like to say this for people that are new to the channel. I'm not telling people what to do. Use your own preference. Whatever you like is the right thing to do. But what I'm trying to do is give pointers to those that want the direction and want the help and want advice that can help them with their beard experience and with the quality of their beard. So for years I used to apply my products to a damp beard purely because my beard is very thick, particularly when it's shorter. It's almost like it gets the most of the thickness when it's shorter as well because it's not pulling itself down. And most mornings I'd wake up and my beard was just uncontrollable. A brush wouldn't do it. It would just spring back out here somewhere. It was just stubborn as hell. It used to annoy the shit out of me. And the only way I could get around it was to get in the shower or get the shower nozzle and get my beard soaking wet and start from scratch and do it that way. So this is how I started my beard process. Back then as well, this is way before Beard Manners. You know, I was listening to the bad advice you get from some of these guys in these groups that are saying things like, you don't need beard products, it's all just a rip-off. You don't need to use beard wash, just use Johnson's, just use your own oil made out of almond and 50% of sense. First, you know, and with that one, I'm not knocking those. You do what you want, honestly do what you want. I just don't like, and I've seen a lot of this lately, there's a lot of people in the beard community that don't do this for a living, that don't have to deal with CPSR companies, that don't have to become regulated on everything, that don't have to have the insurances, that don't have to do the research, that don't get told you can't use this, you can use this, you can't use this because of this, that get emails telling us when something's due to be banned, when something has to be changed. If you don't know that stuff, and you don't know about the bearding stuff, try not to give bad advice. If you don't want to use beard stuff, don't use it, it's up to you. But, you know, giving bad advice when people are asking for help is something that I'm a bit against. So if you don't know and you don't understand, just don't say. So, you know, because all this bad advice caused me problems at the beginning of my beard journey. And, you know, so like I said, I used to apply my stuff to this damp beard because I was told that was what to do. And I used to apply these cheap products to my damp beard. And just all I found was everything felt clammy and horrible. Common sense. I'm a guy that relies on common sense and I'm very logical. It makes sense, of course it does. Oils, butters, waxes, they don't mix with water. Never have done, never will do. So when I'm applying this stuff to my damp or wet beard, I say damp because I've wet my beard, I think I've dried it. Again, this bad advice. I've got Brian from the sandwich shop, who's the beard expert, telling me to ignore what this big brand in the UK is telling me what to do to help, and he's telling me to pat my beard dry with a towel. Patting a beard dry with a towel doesn't actually dry your beard, it just takes the edge off of the water. So I was thinking I'm drying my beard, I'm being told to just pat it down, don't rough it up with a towel because you're going to risk pulling your hairs out and then you'll lose your beard. And then don't use a hairdryer because that kind of heat is extreme and terrible for the beard. And it just wasn't helping me. Again, so like I say, I'm putting all this stuff onto a damp beard. It's not feeling nice in my hands. It's making my beard feel a bit clammy and a bit cloggy. The stuff's not getting into the beard as well. It's not soaking in there. When I'm touching my beard, it's almost feeling, I suppose, wiry and strawy. It feels thicker than normal because it's like the stuff has just coated itself around the beard. And with everything, like once I started to Beard Manners, my biggest research, and as you know in the last video, my biggest research went into the quality of products, the importance of the oils, what to mix, the textures to mix, the cooling processes, heating, warming, everything else. You know, I then also was desperately looking at what is actually the better things to do for your beard. And again, if you're not doing this, if you don't like what I'm suggesting, your beard won't fall out, you won't have your beard card revoked, and you will be able to still continue to be a part of the beard community. Again, this is a video for people that are asking the question and what I feel is best and what works best for me and what I've seen has worked best for others. So this was something I wanted to sort out. So I looked into the heat that your beard could be under, you know, the pros and cons of applying to a damp beard and a wet beard, looking at other videos, doing my own research, reading up on these things. And I started thinking to myself, look, it's just common sense. Your beard needs to be dry to apply oils, butters and balms because it just isn't going to work right. It's just not going to mix well, they're not going to blend together, and it's going to be a mess, which is what it was. So what's the best way of drying? You can of course pat the beard dry. It's like I said at the start of this, it's not going to get your beard bone dry. That's the truth of it. And what it certainly isn't going to do is get your skin dry. It's important to get your skin dry. Just leaving water on there to dry on its own is going to cause dryness and can cause irritation. So do you use a towel and get right in your beard and scruff it all up? Now, of course, you're going to get your beard drier that way. You're obviously going to lose some loose beard hair. That should not be plucking out a fully healthy beard with healthy roots and everything else. It shouldn't be doing that. So if it's bringing out beard hair, like when you brush or you comb, it's just dead hairs. They do regrow. It doesn't work like that you lose a beard hair and it's gone forever. And your beard, you know, don't worry about losing some beard hairs. If there's big chunks of it, then it could be something. But losing a dozen or so hairs on a brush and a wash, that's nothing, guys. Don't even sweat about that. Plenty of beard to go around. Then you've got the hairdryer, but surely it's too hot, you know. Okay, so, you know, prolonged heat isn't ideal for a beard. But also, you know, a hairdryer is not really going to get hot enough. The straighteners can be a bit of a problem. The thing with straighteners is if you're applying straighteners at full heat to a dry beard, then you're putting extra heat and stuff into an already dry beard. That's not ideal. As you're putting it into a wet beard, it can almost make it steam. You can actually hear it and see it. So I'm not a massive fan of straighteners. I do have them. I use them if my beard is being super stubborn. But with a hairdryer, I just use a hairdryer on a medium heat, on a medium level. I just take my time and I'm patient with it. I will get my beard about halfway dry. I don't measure it. You don't have to be that precise with this, but I don't get it bone dry, but it's not dripping wet anymore. Once it gets to that stage, I will then brush and comb all of the tangles out of my beard. Get it nice and neat. I find that it brushes out a bit easier when it's at that still damp stage. Then I will return with the hairdryer to get my beard fully dry. I will use the brush to get underneath my beard. So I'm getting to my neckline, I'm getting under the beard, I'm fluffing it up. You know, I brush it up on the sides, and also what I'm trying to do is get my skin dry as well. And I say about I'm patient with it, it really doesn't take that long on a medium heat. You're talking a couple of minutes just sitting on your bed getting it done. So I then have my beard nice and dry. I've done it on a medium heat so it's not too hot. My skin is nice and dry. I then always apply oil straight to the skin. Use that pipette, get it straight to the skin while it's nice and dry, it's nice and clean, it's just been done. Hopefully my pores are still a bit opened up from a nice hot shower, warm bath, some steam and the heat from the dryer. So the oil really gets in there. I'll get a bit of oil into my beard, brush it into shape, that's it. I will then normally about, well there's not a deadline to that, after I've done the oiling, the drying my beard and oiling my beard, a little while before bed, I will always apply butter. I'm a huge fan of butter. Butter's one of my favourite products. And this is something else that helps. I no longer need to dampen my beard in the mornings because the use of butter. A good butter, I'm a big fan of poured butters. In my opinion, they offer more goodness per pound than a whipped butter does. Whipped butters don't feel as heavy in your beard, but it goes for an airing process. I've said this so many times. If I was to whip my butters, if I was to make a batch of 10 butters and whip them, I wouldn't have 10 butters. I'd have closer to 15 to 17 butters because the air thins them out, spreads them out, and it goes a longer period. I'd make more money, I'd make more profit. There'd be less quality per pound, so to say, per gram in the butters. But it leaves a thinner feel in the beard. I like poured, I always have done. I've got a thick beard, I've got a big beard. Poured works a billion times better for me. But butters makes my beard nice and soft. So now in the mornings, if my beard's all over the place and it looks an absolute state, which it does most mornings, a simple brush will get it roughly where it needs to be. If I'm then struggling in the mornings, it's a little bit stubborn, I will then again reach my hairdryer on a medium heat. I'll hold it 6 to 8 inches away from my beard and I'll use the brush to brush it straight. I like the curling brush because what you can do is wrap it around your beard. Let me see if I can find one. This is how much of a fan I am of these curling round brushes. I've got one in the shop, I've got one in the car, I've got a few at home. But you can see here, you can get it into your beard, look. Get it right in there. So you've got this, the beard is wrapped around the brush, and then just pull it straight. And you can see what that does instantly. Now with a little bit of heat on there to help soften up the beard, that works even better. But this is why I like these curling brushes. They're easy to use, they get tangles out, it doesn't pluck too much. So I don't need to wet my beard in the mornings anymore. I obviously wet my beard when I wash it, and that's when I use the process that I just went through of the drying and the oil and everything else. But the main point of this is that when you do things the right way, when you use a process, when you're consistent, and when you do little and often, but again, that consistency is the key. You stick to a routine, your beard will be healthier. It doesn't matter what Joe Bloggs says. He might not like to use stuff. He might have more naturally oily beard than you. He can do whatever he wants. But when your beard is at its best, not only does it look its best, it's at its manageable. It's at its most manageable as well. So moral of that one, guys, as with all of my videos, take that special care of your beard. Try to break the habit of applying stuff to a damp beard. It's not ideal. There's better ways of doing it. Apply stuff to a dry beard. Your beard will be happier. It's not going to be as annoying and irritating on your hands. You're going to get better use of the products. It's going to soak in better. You're going to get your skin dry as well, because like I did say, leaving that skin damp, just patting down your beard, and then your skin drying naturally over the course of a day with a little bit of oil and butter mixed in there, that can soon clog your pores up and start causing problems. Hope this has been a helpful one, guys. As always, keep at me with new content. I'm sticking on a routine myself with this, aren't I? So I think this is every week in the new year I've done a YouTube video. I think that's the first time I've done that 3 weeks in a row. Really want to keep on top of it. I've got a few ideas myself lined up. Last week's was a kind suggestion from one of our followers, Drew. If you've got anything you want to see from me, as always, I am going to be mixing it up. It won't be just beard related. I'm going to be doing other things. I'll do what I feel fits right at the time. You know me. I don't like to sit and rehearse stuff. I like that the feedback I get in my comments is that I'm natural and I'm genuine and everything else, and that's why I like to just do it on the cuff. It's why, unfortunately, I might stutter sometimes. I might go on a bit of a tangent somewhere and lose myself. My videos might not always make sense, but hey, I mean, they make sense to me, and as long as they make sense to you. And if they don't, just hit me up in a message and I'll explain it. Dry beards, they're the ways to go. Anyway, guys, it's freezing in here. I can see my breath. I don't know if you can or not. I need to get this coffee inside me. I need to get the heater on. And I need to get on with some work. So should you. Enjoy the video. Give it a thumbs up. Give it a like. Subscribe. Share. Do what you've got to do. Have a good weekend. Stay bearded. And I'll see you soon.